What's up guys, it's your boy Kurt, coach of the Brisbane Buzzwolves, bringing you week 1 of the SBN versus Chang Gang and the New York Noivans. This week we're going up against Asuelo, Venusaur, Garchomp, Mega Sableye, Terrakion and Quagsire. I don't have a Terrakion switch in, which was actually really scary. I had 2 Swellow switch-ins and neither of them wanted to be chipped in this matchup. Garchomp I had 1 switch into at most. Mega Sableye was going to be so annoying to break without a Dragon Dance up from my Dragonite. Unaware Quagsire was another really annoying thing since I couldn't fit Giga Drain onto my Tentacruel. But once I got Rocks and Webs up, I would be safe. The hazard removal that this week Chang brought was just not there. I was actually really scared of Chansey, just because it walled my special offense so much. Physical offense, I kind of blew it back, but my Raikou and a couple other things just got walled by his Chansey if he happened to ring it, which he didn't, and I was so happy when I didn't see it at team preview. But enough with the talking, and we'll get into the game. So I'm just going to lead off with a Araquanid. It was 100% my safest lead. Just get up Webs if he doesn't lead with Terrakion or Swellow. If he led with Swellow, I was always going into Mawile, just because Mawile takes a hit so much better. So he does lead with Swellow though, which was really unfortunate. If he led with Terrakion, I was just sacking Araquanid turn 1. There was no other way around it. So I'm going into Mawile here. It's going to take a huge chunk just because I'm not Mega'd yet. I am Mega Mawile and it does do a number to this man's team. So he's just going to go straight to Air Slash and that's going to do too much. I'm forced into either Sucker Punching or Play Roughing here. I was sub Focus Punch. I did actually attempt to get the substitute up the first time. That would have been absolutely amazing if I got the sub up. He does go for the Air Slash, and unfortunately he does get the flinch, which was really annoying. So I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch, and it's going to do a huge chunk to the Swellow. He's getting more damage than I would have liked. Looking from the damage, Air Slash would have broken my sub anyway, which was really unfortunate. So I'm just going to go for a second Sucker Punch. I need to kill this Swellow. So getting rid of Swellow, turn 4 is really nice. He's going to bring in Garchomp, and I'm just going to Sucker Punch. I can't play around with this thing. He goes for the SD, which is honestly really scary. I don't have a switch to +2 Garchomp. I have a way to scare this out, but I don't have a way to actually switch into it. So I'm just going to sack Mawile here to the Rough Skin. I knew that it would die to the Rough Skin. There was no point in me switching. So I'm actually going to go into Mamoswine here. 100% my safest play was to go Mamoswine. Just click Ice Shard. He had no switch into an Ice Shard. At most was Quagsire. It took about 20% at max from memory. Just doing damage calcs if it was physically defensive, which he is. It takes about 15 to 20%. So that's unfortunate, but I'm just going to go for the Rocks here. I need Rocks up. He doesn't have removal. His only removal was Swellow. So removing the Swellow was really nice. He is going to go for the Skull, and it's going to do a huge chunk to Mamoswine just because Mamoswine's special defense isn't the greatest. So I'm just going to go for the Earthquake here. Earthquake was safe. I had no reason not to go for the Earthquake. Doing about 50% to the Quagsire, which is really nice. He's going to kill me with Skull here, which is kind of unfortunate, but nothing I could do. My only other way to beat this now was Araquanid, but I needed Webs up. He couldn't touch me, so going to Araquanid was really safe. Unless he was a toxic variant of Quagsire, he could not beat this Araquanid. So I'm just going to go for the Webs. Now that I have these up, Dragonite pretty much just cleans up. He's going to go for the Earthquake. I need to kill this thing though before Dragonite can go in, just in case he carries Ice Beam. That would be a huge worry for me if he had Ice Beam. That's why I just could not go into my Dragonite. I did have Z-Fly, but it didn't kill from that range. So I'm going to go for Liquidation. At the time, I forgot that Unaware doesn't stop your own stat drops. So he's gonna go for the recover at -1 defense. Here, if I had have gone for it the first time, I would have just killed with liquidation. I wouldn't have wasted a turn. But I'm just gonna go for the toxic, not realizing that Unaware didn't stop the stat drops. He's gonna be poisoned now. He's gonna go for the Scald. He can't burn me. He can't touch this Arachnid with Quagsire. So his best play is, if he had kept this Quagsire, it would have been really, really annoying. But he had no switch into my Arachnid himself. So I'm just gonna go for the liquidation. Get the kill here because it was in range of a -1 defense liquidation. He's gonna go Terrakion, and again I just sack to this thing. I don't have a switch in at all, especially if it's carrying Earthquake. There's just nothing I can do. I'm gonna stay in and go for liquidation, but he is gonna go for the Stone Edge and kill me here, which is rather unfortunate, but nothing I could do there. Gonna go into my Raikou. I just need to Volt Switch out here. Need to get the pivot momentum into something. Tentacruel's still there in case he had gone for rocks here, but he does switch into Venusaur. So this is going to reveal whether he's defensive or offensive Venusaur. Just because I'm a Specs Raikou, so the damage that I do is going to tell me a lot. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and I do reveal he is a more specially bulky Venusaur. He is slightly offensive, which is rather annoying. But I'm going to go into my Tentacruel here. Going to go straight for the Ice Beam. This was actually a roll to kill, and I don't hit the roll, which is unfortunate. So he's going to get the Giga Drain off, putting Tentacruel in range of either Garchomp or Terrakion Earthquake, even through a Shocker Berry. I just couldn't live. He has a Life Orb Venusaur, which was really nice because he didn't get as much health back. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam again, killing the Venusaur. I had Toxic Spikes, but at this point there was no point setting up the T-Spikes. So he's going to go into Terrakion, and I'm just going to go for the Surf. I am Surf over Scald, just because the damage output. After Rocks, I think it was a roll to kill here. I don't remember exactly. I think it was a roll, and I don't hit the roll again. Gonna reveal the Shocker Berry, but I'm pretty sure this was abandoned Terrakion, just based off that Earthquake damage. The fact that Shocker Berry didn't save me from a non-stabbed Earthquake, it makes me feel like it was a choice banded Terrakion. I'm just gonna go back into Raikou though. There was no reason not to. I can just lock into HP Ice pretty safely if he decides he wants to go into Garchomp. So I'm just going to Hidden Power and kill the Terrakion. If he goes into Sableye here, I'm going to stay in and just keep spamming Hidden Power Ice until he kills this thing. He did tell me that he forgot the Mega Stone in this game, so he's going to have Prankster all the time. I'm just going to go for the Hidden Power though. Need to get as much damage off as he's going to go for the knockoff, which is really, really nice for me. I lose my choice specs, which is kind of unfortunate, but there's nothing I could do. But this allows me to get my T-Bolt off, doing a lot of damage to Sableye. And here I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch. I need to get the pivot momentum into my Dragonite. He did go for the knockoff here, which was really, really nice to know. When he didn't outspeed me and recover. If he had recovered, that would have been really unfortunate. He does go for the Will-O-Wisp and miss, as I go for the Z move. This was a little overkill, but I was worried that if he recovered, I wouldn't be able to kill it. So I had to go for the Supersonic Sky Strike, killing the Sableye. And under Webs, Garchomp will be slower, so Dragonite will be able to finish that off. Even with Rough Skin, it wouldn't be enough to do anything. So I'm free to just finish off this Garchomp, and Dragonite will claim the last 2 kills of the game. So starting off week 1 with a win and a 2-0 win over Changang and the New York Noivern. GG to Chang. I was really worried going into this matchup of that Garchomp. Garchomp was a really big threat to me. Other than that, there was not a whole lot I could do. So I'll see you guys in week 2 when we take on EGB. And I forget his team name, but we take on EGB week 2, and hopefully we can continue the win streak. So I'll see you guys for week 2.